Hi there, traders. This is Brad Goodwin with the FX Market Insight for Tuesday, the 16th of July. All right, now a bit of an early update to get you kicked off just before really the Asian session kicks off. Now, there's not a hell of a lot of change from yesterday, right? We had those Chinese GDP numbers, came out as expected. Retail sales and industrial production up. Okay, if anything, it gave a little bit more support to the Aussie and Kiwi, which are absolutely crawling up at this stage. But funnily enough, on the dollar pairs at the top here, there's no change in the sentiment. Dollar CAD still, even though it's trading sort of sideways in the hourlies, it's still going down. So we've got that really nice look on dollar CAD. But the Aussie has started to really creep up. It's just tweaked through daily and weekly resistance. And that may be a major reason why it's been going so slow. Of course, we have the RBA monetary policy meeting minutes today, and that'll be a key event for the Aussie. The Kiwi, it's just broken through. Well, it's heading up on the daily charts, not quite through on the weekly ones. So, you know what? It's been a long time coming. It's hard for the Aussie and Kiwi to bounce with such a negative picture themselves, but they have slowly but surely going. So you can see here, I've just left the trend lines where they are. Let me just change that pen color. Okay, so you're starting to see a bit more of a move here. Now, the other major pairs, there's nothing going on. There's been no major US numbers. In fact, if anything, Trump's put his foot in it again, some racist remarks to 4 congresswomen. So I don't know how that's going to play out, but it's him back to normal. Dollar yen drifted lower through the trend line, now trading sideways. Euro, sterling, pretty much the same, as is dollar CAD. Now, oil back to $59. I don't know what's going on with dollar CAD. It's just sort of caught up in the middle of about 3 different things, and it's just trading sideways. It usually has a massive clean out on one side or the other, and then goes back to sideways trading. So at the moment, there's not a hell of a lot to get enthusiastic about, except for the fact that, you know what, the Aussie and Kiwi are tweaking higher. I would love this setup if, you know, the RBA came out and said, yeah, we're done for interest rates, then we could see the Aussie start to fly to the top side. But whilst the RBA is cautious, I can't see too much activity there. So just having a look here, there's not a huge day. I mean, we've got a huge week with number of CPI figures and employment numbers coming out. RBA minutes today, that's going to be pretty important. Now, with the central bank sitting on the fence, bit of a negative sort of stance, the minutes become very important, right? Usually it's a bit of an afterthought. We don't really care, but at the moment we do. Then we've got the UK employment numbers. Okay, average earnings was the major thing the Bank of England were looking at. But don't forget the unemployment rate, claim account change, and the employment change. So you get a number of variables there, and that's why that's a high impacting event. And the fact that we have had pretty good CPI and employment numbers out of the States, and the US dollar is sitting on a bit of a knife edge. Retail sales, which I would usually leave off the extremely high impacting data, has the potential here to really give the dollar a shakedown, right? And this is 4.5 hours ahead of Powell speaking as well. So what we might get out of today is a bit clearer US dollar direction. You want to be looking at these 2 events for clarity. Outside of that, the Aussie is going to be in line, as well will be sterling. All right, and don't forget, you've got, unfortunately, we've still got that Brexit issue hanging over that. And that's the way it is. So what we've got is we've got normal liquidity. US dollar still uncertain at this stage. We've had that move down. It's trading sideways. We need some clarity around the next move, and that's where the trade will come from. Okay? If you're trading anything else outside of that, well, you probably want to go with your technicals, and that's where the Aussie and Kiwi come into play. All right, guys, that's the FX Market Insight for today. All the very best. Cheerio.